Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Wardrobe provided by Bahari Bahamas. Visit shopbahari.com. And welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm. As always, it's a pleasure to be in your company. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today. On this Independence Day Eve, 48 years ago, it was a very momentous time in this country. And I remember I was just a couple of days shy of 10 years old, because my birthday is in a couple of days. And I remember being on Clifford Park on the evening that the Union Jack came down and the Bahamas flag was raised for the first time. And, you know, at the age of 9, almost 10, I really couldn't really understand or grasp the magnitude of what was happening that night. But there was this sense of excitement and anticipation and electricity in the air that even at that age, you could feel, and I knew that whatever it was happening, it was something major, it was something important, it was something big. And I remember my mother and my Aunt Pat, both of them have gone on to be with the Lord. I remember, it's like my whole family was there, my uncles and aunts and cousins, and my Aunt Pat was in the food vending business for many, many years. And if I remember correctly, I think she had a booth or something out there. But I remember my whole family was there. And at the moment that the Union Jack was lowered and the flag was raised and the national anthem played for the first time in sovereign Bahamas, I remember my mother and my Aunt Pat weeping, openly weeping. And like I said, at that age, I couldn't really understand what was going on. I knew it was a big deal. And I knew that those tears were not sad tears. But I remember them weeping, just weeping. And it was such a sense of pride that you could feel out there that night. That was a very special night. And tomorrow will mark 48 years since that night on Clifford Park, when we became a sovereign nation. And I dare say that in this nation of the Bahamas today, the tears are still flowing. Only problem is I don't quite think that they're happy tears. Many Bahamians are going through. And this country is in a place where I think it was a shadow. It is a shadow of where we once were, obviously, and I dare say the direction that I believe that our founding fathers saw for this country. I think we've lost our way in many, many ways. And my charge to the people of the Bahamas is that we find our way back. We have to remember that the only colors in this nation that we should be fighting over or fighting for are aquamarine, black, and gold. And we need to learn how to put down the red and the yellow and the green and whatever other colors are out there. And remember that this is one Bahamas that belongs to us all. And if we can't come together to fight for this nation, then your green ain't gonna matter, and your red ain't gonna matter, and your yellow ain't gonna matter, because it'll all go down in flames. So my charge to the people of the Bahamas today is, instead of fighting against each other, let us fight together to save this nation, to take this nation to loftier goals, so that we can truly lift up our head to the rising sun and march on to glory together as a united people. We have to learn how to agree to disagree. One of the things that scares me about how politics separates people is how you want to cut off your family head because they disagree with you politically. That is just so stupid. Because these politicians are all friends and business partners. Don't mind the show that they put on. And they living good. So my charge to the people of the Bahamas is, for God's sake, man, come together. Let us come together to save this nation. We all could see what's wrong. We all could see all of the social ills that are facing this nation. And it ain't just stopped at COVID. All COVID did was expose them. Rip the veil away. What we were pretending not to see, you can't help but see it now. So that's all COVID did. I want y'all to think that we didn't have these issues before COVID. All COVID did was was to amplify them. But we got to come together as a nation to fix this Bahamas, because it's only one Bahamas we have, y'all. And I know about you, but I ain't got no place else to go. This is it. So let's come together, Bahamas, on this 48th, and see how we can work together to save this nation. All right, so this is a Friday, TGIF, open line show. And we all know what that means. This is an opportunity to talk about the week that was, talk about the big stories in the news, talk about whatever you want to talk about. So I'll throw out the telephone lines early, 828-3543, 828-3543 is the number to call. And our text line is 828-2543, 828-2543 is the text line. Well, obviously the big story of the week was the assassination of the Haitian president. Shook the world, really, and threw Haiti into further turmoil. And while, nations around the world stood up and took note, in the Bahamas, we know what that means for us. Because what happens in Haiti inevitably affects us. Because we know there are concerns of a mass exodus from Haiti because of the turmoil that assassination caused. Let us go to the clip. This is Eyewitness News talking about the assassination of the Haitian president and the fallout thereof.
President Jovenel Moise was assassinated at his Port-au-Prince home early Wednesday morning. creating a political void that threatens to deepen the turmoil that has gripped the country for months. His wife, Martine Moise, was also shot in the attack. In a statement, Haiti officials said an unidentified group of people, some speaking Spanish, were responsible for the killing. Moise had been ruling Haiti by decree after elections which were due in 2018 were delayed in the wake of disputes, including on when his own term would end. As a result, kidnappings for ransom have surged in recent months, further reflecting the growing influence of armed gangs. Poverty and hunger are said to be on the rise, and the government has been accused of enriching itself while not providing even the most basic services. The political vacuum now left by the president's killing could fuel a cycle of violence, prompting a mass exodus of Haitians.
Civil unrest in Haiti always invariably negatively impacts upon the Bahamas. We know the issues that we have in the maritime domain and the maritime space with irregular migration. And so, of course, we're going to take all of the necessary security steps that we need to take to secure the Bahamian borders.
Bahamas Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield says government is poised to intercept illegal migrants seeking to flee the ongoing political crisis. The Bahamas Embassy has been ordered to close as foreign governments struggle to understand what the coming days might bring.
We have 4 Bahamians in Haiti at the embassy, 4 diplomats. We were on the phone with them all morning discussing the way forward. They, in the moment, are safe, and we will announce plans as we move forward.
Haiti's interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph said he's now in charge of the country. A new prime minister was scheduled to replace Joseph this week, and the head of the nation's highest court, who might also have helped establish order, died of COVID-19 in June.
We call for calm in Haiti. We call for constitutional law to be observed in Haiti. We call for cooperation of all sides in Haiti.
Okay, so I think 4 persons were killed. Four of the suspected assailants were killed, and I think another 2 others are now in custody. And it is said that the 2 that are in custody are Haitians, Americans of Haitian descent. So that I find quite interesting. You know, when these things happen, it's not hardly ever just a group of 6 fellas deciding, let's go kill the Haitian president. That go deeper than that. You best believe that. We probably will never know what triggered this, what led to this happening. But you know, Haiti is known for having coups, and you know, they're known for overthrowing governments. But this is taking it to another level. To actually assassinate a sitting president is unheard of even for them. And I just think it'll be very interesting if we ever could find out the backstory as to, are there any other governments involved in this, or any other special interest involved in this. Somebody sent me a message after the assassination, something that someone had posted, I think on Instagram or somewhere, saying, isn't it fascinating that both the Tanzanian and Haitian presidents were not, trying to think the way they put it, were not, let me you know what, let me pull it up real quick so I don't have to guess what the person said. I can pull it up real quick for you, just 1 second. Okay. The message says, anyone else find it odd that both Haiti and Tanzania's presidents were against the hype of COVID-19 and are now dead? I thought that was kind of interesting. So we will never know, probably, what led to this. But know that this was not just 6 fellas who decided that they was going to take this president out. Know that. But now it puts the country into further turmoil, further unrest. And we know what that means for us. Because whenever there's unrest in Haiti, the number of migrants seeking to escape increases, and that translates into an increase in illegal immigrants coming to the Bahamas from Haiti. So our authorities are now bracing themselves for what they know is going to happen, an influx, and efforts are now being made to beef up security and to, I guess, increase border patrols. According to our National Security Minister, Marvin Dames, he confirmed that border patrols are increasing as there are fears of a mass exodus from Haiti in the wake of this political unrest and assassination. And he also revealed that plans are already in place to heighten security at government buildings here in the Bahamas to protect our legislators. And he said that government has formed a special committee to review and implement new security measures at government agencies following that assassination. Let's listen into what the Minister of National Security had to say on this.
I've created manuals and documents that speaks to just that. If you look at the new Ministry of National Security building, for example, you would see that that's one of those models that we intend to ensure that we take it at every ministry. And we have had these discussions at the cabinet level as we prioritize our business. That certainly is one of those priorities.
All right, so I would love to hear from you on this. Again, the number to call, 828-3543 is the number to call, 828-3543. And the text line is 828-2543, 828-2543. We know that people are going to start to flee. And I mean, Haiti's unrest has been going on for decades. There are many socioeconomic factors that lead to their unrest. I have long been a proponent of making France accountable for what it has done to help to destroy that nation, which France is notorious for. They're doing the same thing in Africa, where they're making people pay them to be free. And even though they have stopped the payments, the money that they have raped from Haiti is criminal. And the world stood by and allowed it to happen and said nothing, and continue to say nothing, while this country goes deeper and deeper and deeper into the pit. But our problem is we don't have the luxury of, just not paying attention, because we are going to be impacted by this crisis. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good morning, Michelle. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm awesome. I wasn't surprised to say that earlier, talking about the Tanzanian president that died, and I posted on Instagram showing how the irony is definite, how both of those leaders are still against this whole narrative and were assassinated. The Tanzanian president, this was Magalafi, I believe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. But he was a doctor, and his video went viral last year when he sent a sample of engine oil and Papaw.
Yes.
And they sent it back.
Came back at COVID positive. Yes.
And he told the people of Tanzania, see, I told you, see, these people, trust me. They didn't make no sense. And he retracted from the World Trade Organization, the World Health Organization, and I think his ties with the European Union, I believe. I don't know if I'm being accurate in that last statement, but as far as memory serves. But he was poisoned. He was poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
This cessation leader, he just like the Tanzanian president, he was doing a lot for his people. if you go on YouTube and do a search, there's a video highlighting all the things he did to catapult his country at a different level. As far as I've been reading so far, the Haitian leader who was assassinated was doing pretty much the same thing. And his stand with regards to the COVID-19 garbage was the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems as though they can't control you. And if you ain't budging, they will take you out.
Hmm.
You know, it's very sad because it seems like Haiti has been the bullseye, the crosshairs of America for a long time. The last earthquake they had, you know, troops were flown in and sailed in quickly, quick, fast, and hurry. And it's amazing because Haiti has oil, rubies, other natural resources that, you know, are extremely valuable. And the soldiers got there quick, fast, and hurry without a drop of a hat. I'm saying, why is America so interested in Haiti?
Mm.
You know, I haven't seen them take this stand with any other country. You know, they have a big problem with the Haitian migrants for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So they really don't like Haitians. You know, but it can call it a conspiracy theory, but it's a big blow. It's a big blow. They're trying to set examples, seems like, because I agree with that post that you mentioned on Instagram.
Mm.
They're trying to set example that anybody who tries to cause a rift in their agenda, then they're going to try to erase you.
Well, you know, again, I'm not trying to fuel any conspiracy theorists, but
of course not.
But facts are facts. There have been doctors who have openly stood up against what's going on, and they too are no longer here with us.
Discredited and a reputation destroyed.
And well, I'm not just talking about the reputation being destroyed or being discredited. I'm talking about dead, gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I think I need to do a bit more digging.
So, you know, I understand why these doctors scared, because they, like you say, you don't fall in line. They try to take you out. These fellas serious. But again, I'm not saying that that's what happened in Haiti. I just
no.
You know, I just read or repeated what was posted by someone on Instagram, and again, you say what you want to say about it, but it's a fact that both men were very much against it. And their maker.
Well, if it barks, then you know what kind of animal it is. If it quacks, you know what kind of animal it is too.
Say that again?
But if it barks, you know what kind of animal it is. And
but
if it quacks, you know what kind of animal it is.
Yes, man, but it's a serious thing.
The thing about it is, I'll leave with this. The biologists that you and I who've been making vaccines for almost as long as I've been alive and have extensive experience, and they have the credentials, man, the resume will be going to the door so long. They're being made to seem like idiots, and I don't understand this. Like, more and more information is being released, almost on a weekly basis, and they're trying to spread it what people know to be a reality, which is proven with real science. They're discrediting it, sorry.
Well, you know,
and it makes you question, like, what's 1 + 1? It isn't 2 anymore.
But that's the world we live in. And that's why it's so easy for them to do that, because that's the world we live in. Because in this world we live in today, my Miss Bahamas, my Miss Bahamas team and I were having this debate. Not debate, but we were just, you know, talking back and forth. And we started talking about this trans movement. Because Miss USA will now have its first openly trans woman competing in the Miss USA pageant from Nevada, I think. And so I brought up that I said, man, you know, I got a real issue with this, because now they got boys with long hair beating up on girls in sports. You know what I mean? So I I said to them, you know what? I think that if it's only about how you identify and how you feel, I'm going to start. I now identify as a multimillionaire, so I'm a trans financial. So,
Well, the power of the tongue, Michelle.
so if you can wait for them, if you can start treating them like women just because they say that's how they feel and they're in the wrong. I feel like I'm a millionaire. So it's a multi-millionaire. So start treating me like that, please. I'm now trans-financial.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to go and call them up tomorrow. I'm with the mind. I'm with the mind. I want you to get my money out of the box. I have $100,000 in the box there. You know, so I want you to get it for me.
Trans-financial.
Trans-financial.
Yes, I identify as a multi-millionaire. Telton, address me as a multi-millionaire. I am now trans-financial.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much for calling. I got another call coming in. All right. Oh, man, if it wait for them, then why it can't wait for me? Tell me why it can't wait for me. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller. Caller? Okay, I'm not sure why I can't hear you. Let me try something. Oh, please call back. 828-3543, 828-3543. All right, I think this is the same caller. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Can you hear me now, Michelle?
I can.
I could hear you, but I suppose the phone ain't cooperating today.
Well, we got you now.
But I was saying to you, hello, the Bahamas' richest trans-financial.
Yes, yes. If they could wait, why they can't wait for me? If they could identify as a woman and everybody treat them as I am now a multi-millionaire. Shoot, billionaire if you want to go that far. I'm trans-financial.
All I will say to that point, and before I move on, Michelle, is God made a male, and he no feelings can change that person for being a male. God made a female, and ain't no feelings can change that person for being a female. That's all I'll say on that point for now. Anyway,
I mean, I know it's a complex issue and everything, right? I get it. Yeah. It's very complex. Dr. Joel Wallach, who is the doctor whose protocol we were trained under in the Institute of Holistic Health, he believes that it has to do with the nutritional deficiency that is impacting the brain.
Really?
Yeah. And so, but there's so many,
Michelle,
it's complex. It really is complex.
Right.
If
one really looks at it, Michelle, and cut it down to its basic truth, it's just the devil simply lying to people and fooling people and tricking people that they are not who and the way God made them. It's a spiritual attack on humanity. That's really all it boils down to. That being said, to move right on, in regards to our country's independence, well, of course, that's officially tomorrow. My birthday is actually on the 11th, so you and I are 5 days apart, so I'll say happy early birthday
happy early birthday to you as well.
Indeed. Michelle, the thing that concerns me as a Bahamian in the Bahamas, and when we were growing up, when you looked around, even though you saw the appearances of poverty, one never really felt, at least in my growing up, one never felt the teeth of it. What do I mean by that? My grandparents were farmers. My granddad was a farmer and a fisherman. My grandmother, farmer, both from Cat Island. Michelle, even though we didn't have money, we never went to bed hungry. Because my grandparents, my parents and her siblings, their siblings were all self-sufficient. Yeah, they worked to earn an honest day's work, pay, to pay for those things that money was needed for. But Michelle, I never knew that I was poor, or was in the category rather of being poor, until I got a whole lot older. Because I had food, I had clothes, I had shelter. By God's grace and the care and support of my parents and grandparents, I had those things. So today's Bahamas, when you look at it, when you see children being given any and everything that they want, they're not being taught the value of working for what they want. They're not being taught the value of hard work. They're not being taught the value of taking care of the things that you have so that those things may take care of you. They're not taught about learning to eat what you have because there may be a day in the future that you may not have. This is that which you're throwing away. All of those things, Michelle, we were either directly or indirectly taught. So nowadays, when these hard time comes, I don't feel it. Because, Michelle, I'm not in a state of emotional or mental desperation to get or to have materialism. Because of the way, thank God, I was brought up. To satisfy with what you have, do the best you could with what you had, make the best out of it. These are the truths that the Bahamas has fallen away from as a nation. That's why a lot of Bahamians are suffering today. Not so much so because they don't have, but because they do not know what to do with it, that which they do have, Michelle. And it's sad. It's sad. And you know, when I hear a lot of the, as they put it, millennials talk in these days, they don't want to, you know, to grow up in the Bahamas like their parents grew up. That is the past, and that is old, you know, the old way, etc., etc. They look down on on hard work, you know, the farming and the straw work. They look down on those things. But Michelle, it's those very same careers and skills and hard-working opportunities that was able to put them through school, put them in a good home, but yet they don't see the value of those very things that without which they would not have been as far in life. And you know, I think where we went wrong as a nation is that after we became independent, particularly from the 10th year on out, we started to throw away the values of our upbringing that made us a great people and started to adopt values of America, unhealthy values from America and Europe and Canada.
It's interesting that you would say that. I was watching last night a Red Table Talk with Will Smith and Kevin Hart. And one of the things that Will talked about, and this is his way of describing exactly what you just said, we're definitely suffering from it in the Bahamas, that he and many in his generation went through so many struggles that, you know, they don't want their kids to experience. It's like, I want better for my children than I had. Right. But what you got to realize is when you take the struggles and when you take the challenges away from them so they could have life easier, then you taken away the opportunity for them to become strong, for them to become resilient. So you now, their life is easier, but they weaker.
Exactly.
The least little bit of challenge would come, they fall up because you did not give them the opportunity to grow by taking the challenge away from them. It was really it was a really great conversation.
Muscle does not grow unless it has resistance. Human beings will never realize our true potential in terms of becoming all we can be unless we have something to challenge our thinking.
That's how you grow. That's how you grow. Adversity brings growth.
Yes. And you know, I heard Arnold Schwarzenegger and Warren Buffett. I heard their life stories over the years, and particularly with Warren Buffett. One of the things that I appreciated about his life story when I heard his kids talk, they said that their father, both Schwarzenegger and Warren Buffett, their children were able to say that even though their parents were wealthy, their parents still made them clean up their own rooms. They did not. Exactly. Personal responsibility. Michelle, you know, I can understand and respect anybody wanting to improve their circumstances in life. But what good is the improvement of the circumstance when one does not have the value, the appreciation of the value, how that circumstance became, what it became, whether it's negative or positive circumstance, so you could understand what to do or not to do in the future. If you keep throwing away the lessons learned, Michelle, we will always be setting ourselves up to get burned.
The problem is they didn't see those as lessons. They saw those as hardship.
Of course,
I don't want my children to have this hardship
Yeah.
that I had.
But you see, I mean,
You gotta let them face some adversity, because here's the thing.
Yes,
You ain't gonna be here forever.
exactly.
And if you don't allow your children to come to the point where they face the consequences of their behavior, because that's another problem that we have. It's not
Yep.
just taking away hardship, but it's cloaking your children so that they don't have to face the consequences of their behavior. You're just going to clean it up. Now, here's the challenge. You ain't going to live forever.
Nope.
So when you have
That's for sure.
handicapped that child to the point where they don't know what it is to take responsibility, this is a big part of the problem that many people have with millennials, because you can't blame them for the way their parents raised them.
Right.
A millennial will rather die than take responsibility for something they've done wrong.
And
That's
that's
just
when,
not in their nature, and that is how they were raised.
and that is when that millennial mindset becomes a problem for society. Because if he or she is not willing to take responsibility for their wrong behavior, who you think they can put that on? They can start blaming you and me and all of you because
Everybody
they
else
think we
but
did.
them.
Yeah, exactly. And that is when one's personal problem becomes a societal problem.
But that is how they were raised.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I got that. That is how they
so as
were
opposed
raised.
to
You blame the
pointing
parents.
fingers, exactly. We point,
You blame the parents.
I don't know what's
Yeah.
wrong with these young people. Who raised them?
If the parents is wrong with the young people who are gone astray, then the parents gonna say, "Well, I want my child grow up hard. I want my child suffer like I suffered." My God, Michelle, man. I mean, other than someone who may have a health problem, I mean, a genuine health problem, did the sun ever kill you and me for working hard out in the sun every day?
And and a word to the wise, to parents
There's
of
always
young
a-
children who think it's cute when their kids are acting up.
Mm.
It might be cute at 5, but when that child turned 15, and he telling you about underneath yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you talking about, oh, this child is uncontrollable. How they get to be uncontrollable? Because when they was 5
You support
and answering you back, you thought it was cute.
Mm-hmm. 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 Let me conclude on this note, Michelle, and I'll make it quick. And that is this, having to do with our land. I would like to send out a note of caution again to my fellow Bahamians regarding the land that we live on.
Mm-hmm.
My fellow Bahamians, any of you who have generation property or commonage land, please, if you haven't already done so, get together with your families and start to protect your God-given heritage. Because from 2010, there has been a move afoot under the FNM administration, under Ingram at the time, and has been continued under this administration, 2018. The bill is called the Land Adjudication Bill. I don't know if it has been put through Parliament, but the long and short of it is, if that bill ever becomes law, generation property will be done away with, commonage land will be done away with, unless somebody can prove that he or she has been on a piece of land for 12 years or more, which is the threshold for, claiming squatters' rights. Unless you can prove you've been there on that land for that period of time, according to the law, you will lose all of your family heritage called land. And you would only be given an acre and a half if indeed at that point too you can prove that you've been on that property for 12 years or more. To me, Michelle, that is criminal. That is ungodly. That is highway robbery. So what if I have 1,000 acres smiling at the sky? If that's my land, if I want that to smile at the sky until I die, that's my right.
Yeah.
Nobody
I
should
think
have
I think that's a ridiculous law. That squatting law foolishness is ridiculous. That's
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
Michelle, special interests will always put things into play, into legislation for their benefit, eh?
Mm.
But I just want to say to my fellow Bahamians, please, for God's sake, If you're blessed with combination and generation property, come together as a family, form a family holding company, get your family tree together, get all of your deeds of assent together, get all of your wills and whatever documents together, and come together as a family and secure your property. If you don't secure it, you could very well end up losing all of it. Thank you, Michelle. God bless you, and have a wonderful independence and birthday coming up. God bless.
Thank you. Happy birthday to you as well. All right, guys, we got to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we will continue with the TGIF Open Line show, talking about the week that was. This is GPS. Stay with us.
The freshest wave of glory to hit the Bahamas. This is the all-new Glory 93.9 FM, where God is glorified and the people of God edified.
Best dress, hats off, looking like I walked out of catalog. Everybody wanna know where I got it from. Catwalk, 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 boutique, where we make fashion statements. Catwalk, boutique, where we make fashion statements.
For the latest styles in women's clothing and accessories, visit Catwalk Boutique on Robertson Road East at the Helron Plaza. At Catwalk Boutique, we make fashion statements.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
At Lee Air, safety is our number one priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Alive. Alive. Believe in best. And by Tropical Gyros. Not just good food, it's an experience. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, on this TGIF Open Line show today. Our telephone line to call, 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call. And the text line is 828-2543, 828-2543. Speaking of which, I want to read a couple of texts. This one says, Michelle, I wonder if, hold on. Okay. Michelle, why does phone playing with me today? Michelle, I wonder if our government can actually show us how they are preparing for this influx of Haitian immigrants from Haiti to our country, because talk is cheap, and whatever they were doing in the past was not working to stop this influx. Interesting. Another one says, Michelle, how is it that we have not truly amended our, I think you left a word out, Constitution in 48 years? Is it a perfect document, or are we just lazy? Well, that's a good question. There are some things that need to be amended, I think, in the Constitution. The problem is in our system, in order to change the Constitution, you have to go to referendum. Good luck with that. Because as we have seen in the past, Bahamian people could be a little special sometimes and allow themselves to be distracted very easily by the gangs in the colored shirts, who, for their own personal agenda, would try to tear down what is being presented in the referendum simply because they weren't the ones who brought it forward. Yeah, we petty like that in this country. So that's the problem that we have. You can't just arbitrarily change the Constitution. It has to go to a referendum. The people have to decide if they want that change to be put in place. And unfortunately, our history has shown in recent years that politicians use that for their own personal, I shouldn't say personal, their own political gain. Referendums have been seen to be what's the word I'm looking for? Not indictment, but it's like they say a referendum is a way to see who's going to win the next election. So if the PLP government come with this referendum and it get voted no, then that's an indication that the FNM could win the next election, and vice versa. That's the foolishness that we have been doing with referendums in this country, referenda in this country, as opposed to really allowing people to understand the issues and address them accordingly. We would rather play political football. So, Texter, that's the problem. That is the problem when it comes to changing the Constitution. And as for the previous text about what they were doing in the past wasn't working, so why should we be comfortable that it's going to work now? That's a very good question. A very valid point. They say they're going to beef up patrols. Well, I, for one, hope it works. And if it does work, my next question will be, why are you waiting until now to beef up patrols? If you know we got a problem with illegal immigration in this country, you don't think y'all should beef up them patrols a long time? And John Bostwick was recently on my show. He made a very valid point. It's only a 70-mile run, a space of 70 miles that they have to really patrol to stop entry into this country. Once they get past Inagua, you have failed. So we're not talking about, because I hear the argument all the time. I mean, I think I even said it on that show. Well, this is an archipelagic nation and we got all these, miles to cover. And he made the point, 70 miles is the amount of space you have to cover to stop entry into this country. So if they get past your southernmost island, you have failed to intercept them within that 70 miles. So focus on the 70 miles and get serious about stamping out illegal immigration in this country. Now you're saying you're going to beef up patrols. Well, I'm happy to hear that. But my question is, why just doing it now? When you all know we have a problem with illegal immigration in this country. So, one of those questions that goes back to what's really going on when it comes to illegal immigration. Who is actually benefiting from it? So Hasheen says, let's be fair and correct. Which set of parents will we blame? Ours, the generation before them, or the enslavers that put all of this in motion? Here's the thing, Hasheen. You have, there's some people who, when we were growing up as kids, we used to run out, we used to play outside barefoot. We used to eat all kind of I mean, that is what helped our bodies to be stronger, because our immune system was able to build strength based on the fact that we were exposed to what was out there. Now, and I'm not saying this in relation to COVID, but now everything is so sanitized that you're not giving your immune system an opportunity to become strong. Well, same thing applies to when you're talking about raising a generation of young people who, because they have not had to face any kind of challenge or adversity, and obviously this doesn't apply to everybody, but I know I'm making a broad stroke here. They don't know what it is to have to develop strength. I have worked with millennials in recent years, and I had to go and do some research to understand the millennial way of thinking, because they don't think like we think. They have a problem accepting responsibility for their actions. So they will find a way to put the blame on somebody else when really their action is what triggered what happened. But no, that's not my fault. Never their fault. I had, like I said, I had to go do some research to understand the young people I was working with. But again, it goes back to that's how they were raised. You know, another thing that I think parents did wrong was this whole raising this generation of kids with this whole concept of entitlement. So, because that's another big thing with millennials, they're entitled. You ain't necessarily got to work for it, but I'm entitled to it because why? I'm special. Now, where am I going with this? When I was growing up, if you participated in sports, 3 people getting medals that day. The person who come first, the person who come second, and the person who come third. And for the rest of you, if you feel bad that you didn't get a medal, well, work harder next time. Run faster next time. But you're not going to get a medal just for showing up. You're not going to get a participation medal, because all children should be made to feel special. So when you give all of them a participation medal, everybody, like Jamila says, everybody gets a gold star even if they failed. Yes, that is how this generation was raised. Right? So when you do that, how are they going to learn how to achieve more? How are they going to learn responsibility? How are they going to learn discipline? Now, you just giving them a gold star just because they showed up. So now they become young adults and they come up on your job and they expect the same treatment. Oh, what you mean you expect more of me? Didn't you see I showed up? I'm special. Nobody gave you the memo? You didn't get the memo that I'm special? I'm special. All I have to do is show up. I don't have to better myself. I don't have to go through all of that. I showed up. And that's enough because I'm special. Again, I can't blame them, because that's how they were raised. Serious mistakes that parents made in trying to make life easier for their children. And listen, don't get me wrong. I mean, you should want to make life better for your children. So, you put things in place that will make, financially and otherwise, that make life easier for them. But you still have to teach them responsibility. You can't leave that lesson out just because you want to make life easier. But no, everybody gets a gold star just for showing up. So we all get medals because I showed up. And just because I showed up, I'm supposed to get a medal, because no child should be felt, should be left out. Give me a break. You work for something, you get the medal. You don't work for it, you don't get the medal. And it might be where you'll never get the medal because that's not your strength. So find out what the child's strength is and help them to develop that so they could get a medal in that area. But stop with the madness that everybody gets a medal just for showing up. That's utter foolishness. And that is why we have a generation of millennials who want a job and they don't feel that they supposed to take responsibility for nothing. And you ain't supposed to chastise them for nothing they do wrong because nobody told you that they special. They really believe they special. But why wouldn't they? Because that has been ingrained in them from the moment they popped out of the womb. That's all they've been hearing all their life. Oh, you're special, you're special, you're special, you're special. Well, that's wonderful. But when you come into the real world and you got to perform, how you being special can help you. And that is a problem. It's a major problem. So I can't put the blame at the feet of the millennial for that attitude because they were raised to think that way. And you can't now wake up when they are already cemented in young adulthood and expect them to just change because you realize, well, that don't quite work in the job market or that don't quite. That's one of the reasons why, in my generation, oh my God, my generation, you stay on the job for 40 years and you think that's an accomplishment. And if you miss and get fired or laid off, oh my God, that's the end of the world. These young people, they looking to leave you. They ain't sticking around with nobody for 40 years. Y'all got to be stupid. On to the next. Totally different attitude. And there's some good in that. Now, there's some bad in it too, because they have very little stickability. So, they ain't sticking around long enough to learn in many cases. They just moving on. But as I have had to learn in my life in recent years, that could be a good thing. Don't be so stuck on staying in a place that you think life is over when there's a change. So I say that to say this. We could learn from them and they could learn from us. We could learn from them and they could learn from us. And I really think that that's why it's important that young people and the not so young work together. Because we could teach them some things about responsibility and commitment and dedication. And they could teach us a lot about technology and about embracing the new. Because that is very, very important for progress. So that's my hope, that we learn to work together. I love working with young people, actually. I think it keeps you young, keeps you on your toes. And you get to see their perspective and hopefully sometimes get to share yours. And, sometimes they listen and sometimes they don't because they know everything. You ain't know nothing. You pass the age of 40 and all of a sudden your brain don't work no more as far as they're concerned. 40, 50 years old, your brain don't work. You don't know nothing. They know everything. How I get on this today, Delton? When I was in the other place, I actually did a show on that, the problem with millennials. And I had some millennials on the panel. And I thought it was a pretty good show because we got to hear how they think and why they think the way they think. And at the end of the day, the bottom line was we have to learn how to work together because they have some good points and some bad points. And we have some good points and some bad points. And together we can learn from them and they can learn from us and we can work together to develop a better workplace, a better nation, a better world. Jamila says, this is freezing on me again. Make your bed, wash the dishes, sweep and mop the floor, or get caught up if you don't. Child, say what you like about our parents. They taught us responsibility. At least they tried. And their methods weren't always the greatest. I often told my mother as an adult, I said, if you try to pull some of the things that you used to do when I was a child, you can get locked up nowadays for child abuse. But I know my mother loved me without a doubt, she would lay down her own life for her children. So there was no doubt of that. But yeah, I got caught up with switch before, once or twice, 3 times, maybe 4. My Aunt Pat, God rest her soul, she used to beat with switch. She used to take the fly swatter to you. And let me tell you something. Delton, nothing in the world to sting more than fly swatter. And see, she did that because the fly swatter wasn't like the switch would literally cut your skin. That's why I said, tell my mother, you try that foolishness today, you get locked up for child abuse. But the fly swatter ain't gonna cut your skin. But boy, that could sting. You ain't gonna forget that for a little while. So that was Pat's method, the fly swatter. And there's this whole debate of, you'll scar a child for life and all this kind of stuff. I don't think I was scarred for life because I got a little, Now, I am not advocating child abuse because child abuse is a very real problem where people abusing children. I mean, all out abuse. No, that's not what I'm talking about here today. So please don't get it twisted, because I'm not advocating that. And, they have nowadays methods that they didn't have back then in terms of how to discipline children. So some people say it works if you put the child in timeout or what else? Deprive them of their privileges. So, they like to play on the computer, then you take away their computer privileges, or you take away their cell phone and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I ain't got no kids, so I don't know. But I know one thing, that the lessons that I learned as a child growing up, I do not regret one moment. And I know that my mother loved me. I know that my Aunt Pat loved me, no doubt at all. So, Gifted says lessons were learned from those cut. You know what? No, I ain't gonna say that word because we're on the Christian station. Let's see. Tamara says we've got to be strength-based in our approach to bridging the gap. We can't berate them and expect to engage them. That exchange of ideas is essential to the progress of the nation because they are the way forward, not us. This is true. This is true. They the ones who gonna run with this thing. We have to be willing to pass on the baton. And that's one of the problems with persons in my generation. They don't want to pass on the baton to younger folks. But the younger folks have to position themselves to be able to receive the baton, to run with it. Not just to receive the baton because you're entitled to it. That's the big difference. Because if you don't prepare yourself to run the race, and you started up at your hand waiting to get the baton, but you can't run once you get it in your hand, then what? You're still going to lose. So you got to prepare yourself. And it's not enough just to say, I'm interested in this. Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be the best doctor that there is. But then when you go to medical school, if you go, you ain't paying no attention to your classes. You ain't taking it serious. You ain't preparing yourself. But you show up to the hospital with your white coat on and say, okay, I've been to medical school. So no, boo, you got to pass that. You have to demonstrate how serious you are about becoming a doctor. They don't bestow that upon you just because you say that's what you're interested in. No, you got to work for that. So, yeah, I think that's a challenge that some older people do not want to pass on the baton, and some younger people ain't preparing themselves to take the baton. Both are wrong, because we can't win the race if this is a relay. The whole point of the relay is one person can't win the race by themselves. You need to pass it on to somebody, but that person got to prepare themselves to be able to take it on. So, yeah, these are things we need to be concerned about. All right, so let's get back to the week that was. Skyrocketing price of shipping goods across the globe. may hit your wallet harder. This is not good news because so many people right now are already going through. You done lost your job. You was on furlough for 18 months. And now they talking about prices going up. This is not good news. According to the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employees Confederation chairperson Crystal Rutherford Ferguson, businesses will pass on the higher cost of shipping to their consumers. Let's go to the clip.
Worrisome for the business community that they're seeing these increases in cost in shipping and inland freight. And ultimately what that means for them is that on their side, they are having increase in their cost to secure these goods, to bring the goods into the country. As many persons know, we depend heavily for goods being shipped into this country. We import most of our goods. So it means that the increased cost in other countries will have a material impact on the pricing for goods locally. What does that mean to the local consumer? It does mean inflation in prices. It also impacts the suppliers that our business community get their products from. So their suppliers are also feeling the impacts of these increased costs. And as a result of that, they are, in some instances, increasing the retail and hotel costs for goods immediately. Hopefully, as the world gets a hold on the virus, vaccinations, mitigating the impacts of COVID-19, you will start to see things level out. Because this is a direct effect of the global supply chain being hampered or hindered.
All right. So I know this is not news that anybody wants to hear right now. Lord knows. People going through, y'all. And now you're talking about prices going up. And this is not a welcome thing. I would just like to encourage the powers that be, and it's a catch-22 because I know they need VAT for the revenue. But at the same time, people are having a hard time with basic needs. And when the prices go up, you're talking even more difficulty for many, many families in this country. So I know that the current administration was talking about, they did raise the VAT from 7.5% to 12%. And I'm hoping that, there's no more movement in the wrong direction as far as that is concerned, because we can't afford enough people going through, man. People, my God, if y'all only know, some of y'all might be living in a bubble and may not know how hard it is out there, but people going through, it's rough out there, y'all. It's really, really rough out there. All we can do is hope and pray that the economy turns around. You got to do more than hope and pray. You got to plan. You got to do what you got to do to get the economy working again. I personally believe that, there was mistakes made. There were mistakes made as it relates to the approach that we took with the COVID-19 fight. And when I say we, I'm talking not just the Bahamas, but the world over. But, my belief is that was intentional, that wasn't an accident, that the response was what it was to shut down economies and shut down the world. That was all very, very planned. So, we have to be concerned of our people and the plight of our people. I'm very, very concerned about how people are going to make it with these price hikes that are expected. And all I can tell you is start growing your own food as much as possible. start patronizing the local farmers markets. If you can't grow your own food, go to the farmers markets where the stuff is grown locally, and you ain't got to worry about all those high costs of shipping, bringing stuff in from the United States, because this is real, and it's going to get realer very soon. And to all the English teachers, I know better. That's not a real word. Okay, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue with the Open Line Show. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Located on Carmichael Road, Divine Designs Hair Boutique is a haven for women and men looking for professional beauty services. Our state-of-the-art and contemporary equipment creates a relaxing ambiance for you to enjoy while we cater to you. Need a hairstylist? We cater to all types and textures of hair for care and styling. We even have a barber on duty. Need a nail tech? Our technicians provide a range of nail services, including the latest trends. Unwind in one of our massage chairs while you get your pedicure. With our reasonable rates, friendly staff, and over 20 years of experience, you will be in great hands. Call us at 823-1669 or 698-1025 to schedule your appointment. Wanna be pampered? Wanna be slayed? Let Divine Designs make your day.
Looking for an extraordinary junior high school with caring, qualified staff and affordable tuition? Then come visit us at Elite School of Excellence, an affiliate of First Step Academy. ABECA-focused and Ministry of Education approved, we foster discipline, integrity, and wisdom while molding our students for success. Call us at 341-8846 or stop by First Step Academy Schools on Fire Trail and Soldy Roads for more information.
At the Shirley Street Plaza, you'll find Le Petit Gourmet, a small cafe that's big on flavor. Handcrafted delights made with love will not only please your palate, but feed your soul. Call us at 394-1251. 8 to 12 minutes is all it takes for a burglar to rob your home or business. Security Systems International provides professional and affordable solutions for both. Call 396-5000 for your customized quote. Gwen's Alterations provides professional services for all your tailoring needs, including face masks to keep you safe and in style. A stitch in time saves 9. So call us today at 393-6227.
Escape from the city life to Bacon Air Beach Resort in Piratesville, Mayaguana. Relax in one of 16 air-conditioned rooms just steps away from the ocean. Enjoy scrumptious dishes in our waterfront dining room. Sip on a tropical cocktail, or if you must, stay connected with wireless internet. Nestled on one of the most beautiful beaches in the Bahamas, Bacon Air Beach Resort offers a unique vacation experience. For reservations, call 339-3726 or 463-0182.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Easy Car Sales, home of the electric vehicle. Visit easy242.com and free yourself from gas. And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I am Michelle Malcolm. And every Friday, those of you who are regulars know that we do an open line where we hear from you, talk about the week that was. So once again, the telephone number to call is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call. 828-3543. And the text line is 828-2543. 828-2543. So a couple of texts. This one says, Michelle, the last year has shown us that we have to become food self-sufficient because we saw how quickly the U.S. can close its borders. But have you noticed how we have regressed in food production since independence and more dependent on food imports? As a nation without foreign food imports, we will starve. This is serious. We are an independent nation, but who cannot feed itself. Back in the day, when I was a kid, I remember in primary school, we had to learn and be able to state the islands that were known for farming and the produce that they were known for. So Eleuthera was pineapples, Exuma was onions. I mean, we had to go through the whole archipelago and say what that island was known for producing. Because at that time, we had a very vibrant agricultural system set in place. And the Bahamas was doing fine. And then a decision was made in the wake of tourism that they didn't have sufficient workers for tourism, and so they decided to switch focus and spend more time developing people to work in the tourism sector because they figured we could just bring in everything we need, import most of what we need. That, I dare say, was a mistake. Hindsight is 2020. That was a mistake. So here we now are at the mercy of neighbors, because if they shut us out, how we gonna manage? I think we have food in the warehouse for 3 months. I think it was revealed. Most of the stores have up to 3 months worth of food. So you got 3 months to get your act together if they decide to shut it down. That's crazy. And I know that the Ministry of Agriculture has been promoting many programs to try to get people to grow their own food. They launched a backyard gardening initiative, and they've been working, I think, with the farmers in the Family Islands, even though I have seen videos of produce just rotting on the ground in our Family Islands. But I dare say that I would like to see us, as close as we can, go back to the days when our islands were known for producing sufficient items for the nation, to the point where they could export some things. That was taking place in this country before. I'm old enough to remember that. It wasn't always this way. Jamila says, when I was growing up, limes had seeds. Well, that's another thing. These genetically modified foods. Because what Big Pharma has done is they've bought all the seed companies, and they genetically modified the seeds so that the fruit don't reproduce seed. So you gotta keep coming back to them. So yeah, that's very nefarious thing going on there. Okay, so Gifted says, tourism industry, the new slavery, working for tips and small wages. Well, it depends on which department you work in. Because I remember when it came out how much the pool attendants were making at Atlantis. They're making more money than some fellas dress up in suit, go in office every day from tips. So it depends on the department you work in. Some make more than others. Some Bahamians have made a pretty good living from tourism. So don't knock it. But that's not to say that we shouldn't be diversifying. For sure we should. But not everybody, Charles, I'm going to make some good change. just collecting tips. Okay, so one more thing we ought to talk about is the numbers of people now being hospitalized with COVID, and the medical professionals are saying now that capacity has been met once again, and they are saying that we could be on the verge of another health crisis. Let's go to that report.
A steady increase in hospitalized COVID cases leaving the Princess Margaret Hospital at full capacity. Concerns are mounting as former Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands warns that the road to economic recovery could be threatened.
This is a problem. I've said it repeatedly that we are not in the ideal place. We are not where we want to be with COVID right now. Yesterday's numbers are disturbing. 59 positive cases and almost 50 hospitalizations. I think it is a concern.
With the hospital now set to be bursting at the seams, President of Consultant Physicians Staff Association, Dr. Sabrike Pinder-Butler, suggests that the primary healthcare facility could be in crisis.
As healthcare providers as well, we know what could potentially happen if we have too many cases that, overwhelm the healthcare system. Because once that happens and you're not able to provide the care to those persons with COVID and the persons that don't have COVID, it could cause for a collapse of our healthcare institutions. So that is very concerning.
Meantime, with hospital infrastructure urgently needing upgrades, the Public Hospital Authority recently signed 2 contracts with the Beck Group for $90 million for improvements at PMH and Rand Memorial on Grand Bahama. And while many may argue that the redevelopment plan is much needed, Dr. Pinder-Butler says government should consider investing those funds into other health priorities.
If some of those funds could be redistributed so that we can ensure that we have jobs for nurses, we're able to compensate them, that we can have jobs for physicians who are needed, especially now at this critical time with COVID in country and everything else that's going on. If we could get the beds that are needed, and we could get the labs so persons can get the tests that they need while in hospital, I think that has to be the main focus of the government at this time.
Nonetheless, Health Minister Renwood Wells maintains that government is keeping its commitment to ensure that health sector sites can meet the needs of patients.
All right. So, of course, they are putting the blame at the feet of people who are not vaccinated. But I don't understand why we refuse to acknowledge other methods that are currently available and have been proven effective. Why is it that the only thing that we are relying on is vaccination, when you know quite well that there is vaccine hesitancy? So why not incorporate other methods that have proven to work? And this is why people are believing that this is a pandemic, because it's not like you don't have other options, but you're refusing to use them and shutting doctors and scientists down who point out that they are available. So, I'm sorry, but personally, I'm not moved by you. Oh, the hospital is full. Start doing some other things. How about that? How about you got everybody on ivermectin for 1 month? Very affordable. How about that? I'm not even going to go so far as to talk about, what I've been preaching all along about getting you people healthier. But just ivermectin for 1 month, and you could wipe out COVID in the Bahamas. But no. You got to take the vaccine. And that's the only way to get our economy open up again. I got a problem with that, because it is dishonest, to say the least. And you got to wonder why they're doing these things, man. Why? Why are they not embracing other methods that have proven effective? And ivermectin ain't the only one, by the way. There are others. Proven effective. But no. And don't you dare. You a doctor, you better shut up. Don't even mention it. Because we can shut you down. Because we have decided that this is the only way to go. Meanwhile, hospital full. Y'all ain't serious. They're not serious, Delton. Because if I face in a crisis, I just want relief. I don't care how I get that relief. I could use 50 different options if all of them work, but I just want relief. So, for those who want to take the vaccine, let them have availability to that. For those who don't, let them have availability to the other things that have been proven effective. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that approach? And the fact that they refuse to do that tells me there's something else going on here. Because your bottom line should be relief. That should be the bottom line. It shouldn't be, that's the only way to do it when it's been proven otherwise. That tells me you ain't honest. You're not being honest. That's what that tells me. Jamila says, they serious about controlling people. Did y'all hear that clip I played yesterday from Boris Johnson? You still have that clip, Andy? He was talking about the methods that they're using now as they move forward. But he said something very, very interesting. He said, we're now moving. Do you have it? Check your email from yesterday. He said something very serious about them switching their methods of controlling people. I didn't focus on it yesterday because that wasn't what the topic of the show was yesterday. But if you could find it, Delton, let me know. If not, I said, did he just say controlling people? Did he just say that? He said it out of his own mouth. You found it? Okay, it's uploading now. Jamila says she heard it. He's uploading it right now. Tell you what, let's take a quick break while that's uploading. This is it because I got to get one more break in. So let's take this last break, and then when we come back on the other side, we can play that clip again with Prime Minister of Great Britain, Boris Johnson. And I want you to listen carefully what he had to say. Stay with us.
Ocean blue is the best in seafood, hey, hey. Fresh out the water and affordable too, yeah. We got fish, conch, lobster, shrimp, everything you want. Ocean blue got it. Ocean blue, friendly and clean, best service you ever seen. Ocean blue is the best in seafood, yeah. Fresh out the water and affordable too, yeah. Ocean blue seafood, we are here for you. Ocean blue seafood, no one else will do.
Ocean Blue Seafood, located on Burnett Road. Contact us at 393-2160.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
One of the things I love about the Mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons.
With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks.
We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. And by BMP Liquidators. High-quality furniture and home goods at very reasonable prices. And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. It's an open line show today, TGIF. I have a couple of texts before we go to the Boris Johnson soundbite. Michelle, how much money are we pouring into that same old hospital PMH that has to be a wasted billion-dollar hospital by now? Sad. Decades of money being wasted and lost through corruption in that hospital, yet we do not pay our nurses, so they are all leaving the country. What good is it to have a big billion-dollar hospital with no nurses? We really must treat our healthcare professionals better than we treat them. We really must do better. That hospital is, my God, when I hear the stories about the conditions, no, it's not good. Not good. Okay, so let's listen to this soundbite with Boris Yeltsin. Listen carefully to what this man says, y'all. Listen very carefully, please.
And so, again, without preempting the decision on the 12th of July, let me set out today our 5-point plan for living with COVID in the hope that it will give families and businesses time to prepare. First, we will reinforce our vaccine wall, reducing the dose interval for under 40s from 12 weeks to 8, so that everyone over 18 should be double jabbed by the middle of September, in addition to our autumn programme of booster vaccines for the most vulnerable. Second, We will change the basic tools that we have used to control human behavior. We'll
Okay.
move away from legal
We will
restrictions
change.
and
You
allow.
can stop it. You can stop it. We will change the basic tools we have used to control human behavior. That tape was not manipulated in any way to put words in the man's mouth that weren't there. To control human behavior. I thought that was quite interesting for him to say that. You know, when I had Dr. Robert Malone on my show a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about luciferase, right? And he says, "Oh, there's nothing evil about it, even though it's called luciferase. That's just the name that they came up with." And I'm thinking to myself, there's 28 letters in the alphabet, right, Delton? You could have any combination of those letters to come up with any, create any kind of word you want to create. And out of all the possible combinations, they came up with the word Luciferase. Luciferase. Out of all the combinations that you could possibly come up with out of 28 letters in the alphabet, they chose to name this thing Luciferase. If y'all don't know what luciferase is, go look it up. Has to do with vaccines. Luciferase. Now, those of you who are believers, y'all know very well who Lucifer is. Why you can put Lucifer name in? Delton, if you come with a new product, you can name it Luciferase? Luciferine? Luciferino? You ain't gonna put Lucifer nowhere there. Out of all the combinations what they gonna come up with, Luciferase. Boy, I know about y'all. I ain't taking nothing with Lucifer name in it. Now you might say, "Michelle, you're being ridiculous." Well, I can be ridiculous. I can be superstitious. I can be whatever you want to call me. I ain't put nothing in my body what got Lucifer name in it. How about no? When he said that, I was like, "Let's do it serious." There's nothing evil about it. It's just a name they came up with. Yeah, okay. All right, Dr. Malone, I love you now, all, but yeah, I agree with you on that one. They named that Luciferase for a reason. And even if they don't know what the reason is, there's a reason that named that. So go look up Luciferase, y'all. Luciferase. And see what Luciferase does. And then tell me that's just a coincidence that they named that Luciferase. Child, please, wouldn't be me. How about no? I ain't taking nothing with Lucifer name in it. How about no? How about the patent that Gates has? And go look up the number 666, patent 666, 060606, I think is the patent number. Go look that up and see what that does do. But that's just a coincidence. There's just nothing to that. You people are too superstitious. Okay. How much coincidence we can have before you all start connecting the dots? Now, y'all just hear the Prime Minister of Britain say, we are making some adjustments to the tools to control human behavior. I said, that's what he said. Y'all just hear it yourself. Child, anyhow, y'all could call me conspiracy theorist as much as you want. I really don't care what you call me. I know one thing you ain't gonna call me is stupid. My mom sent me to school for lunch. How about no? Jamila says, freedom is never given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Nobody willing to die for those yet unborn. It will take a revolution to bring about change. Jamila also says, I am not a revolutionary. I'm a solutionary. Got to find a solution. And she says further, they're telling us who they really are. Bam. And Charlene Reed says, I with you, Michelle. Child, stay woke, yeah? Stay woke. Because everybody else, so much of them in a deep coma. They think we stupid. Anyhow. Okay, I'll carry on smartly. This is, Delton, if it's frozen on my part, so I can't hide. Okay, it came down. Okay, Jamila says, how about no? Yeah, Jamila, how about no? And Charlene says, Lucifer? Yes, ma'am. Luciferase. Go look it up. Google it. Like the child said on the debate the other day. Google it. Google Luciferase. So y'all can see what that is do. Google the patent 060606. See who owned that and see what that does do. Then go look up CRISPR technology and see what that all about. And then you could decide if that's just a bunch of coincidence. Charlene say Googling right now. Yes, Charlene, go look it up, Luciferase. The people named the thing Luciferase. Out of all the possible combinations they could come up with, out of 28 letters in the alphabet, and they pick Lucifer to put in the name of their product. And I must go put that in my body? How about no? Y'all call me superstitious and whatever. How about no? People blind, this is Sheldon, people blind because they want to be blind. Too much information to open one's eyes. Okay, let me give you all some homework. Look up Luciferase. Look up the patent 060606. Look up CRISPR technology. Look up, what is it called? Trust Pass, I think, where they have now, where they're using the medical records of children in Africa to store other information. Trust Pass, I think it's called. The Trust Pass, TRUSTPASS. Look, that's your homework. Look them up. And then see if there's a thread in terms of the names would keep popping up. And you got to dig sometimes to look for the names. Because the person name is 26 letters in the alphabet? 26 or 28? Jamila say 26 letters in the alphabet? I thought it was 28. Well, however much it is. It's 26? Gee, 26. 26 letters in the alphabet. 26. That tell you how long I learned my ABC. 26 letters in the alphabet, but they choose L, and then U, and then C, and then I, and then F, and then E, and then R. ASE. Okay. But, somebody actually said to me, if you stop and think about everything that they put into everything that you use, you wouldn't use anything. Well, you might have a point, but I know one thing. I know what in that. Lucifer in that. Not going to do it. But look up Luciferase. Look up the patent 060606. Look up the Trust Pass. Look up CRISPR technology. And then see how they are all connected. And like I say, it may not be obvious. You got to dig a little bit to find how certain people are connected with certain things. Like you might not see their name, but then there's a foundation that they are affiliated with that sponsors this particular research. And just seek and ye shall find. We got to start seeking to find information. It's right there. They have hidden this information in plain sight. And I want to highly encourage you all to check out Dr. Fleming's website, FlemingMethod.com. FlemingMethod.com, because all of the information that was revealed in the past 4 or 5 shows with him are right there on his website, where he shows you where they have the information right there. They even ain't bothering to try hide it. It's right there, hidden in plain sight for you to see. So, yeah, child, I fool with nothing but got Lucifer name in it. I'm so sorry. They could tell me that could cure me of all ailments in the world. I can deal with them ailments some other kind of way because I ain't fooling with nothing got Lucifer name in it. And you might say, Michelle, you're just being stupid. But then I guess I got to be stupid. But I ain't fooling with that. That's just me, though. It's up to y'all what y'all decide to do with it. All right, guys. So listen, tomorrow's Independence Day. Have a happy Independence. Be safe. Just remember that this is all about us celebrating the birth of a nation, and let us all strive to see how we can contribute to the betterment of that nation. Monday is a holiday, so I won't see you guys on Monday. I will be back on air on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I am actually going to be celebrating my birthday. So you will not see me with live shows on Thursday and Friday, but we will be playing some of our more popular, two of our more popular shows that aired earlier. We'll repeat those. So still tune in. You know, it might be a show that you would have missed. But we're going to pick the best ones. And then I'll see you guys back in studio the week following. So have a good Independence, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday of next week. Have yourself a great Independence weekend.